Bror Fredrik coming at you with another video. I put out a recent video entitled Stop Playing Slot Machines in Las Vegas. That turned out to be a rather big hit and with a ton of comments, and I might even expand based on the comments to stop playing slot machines anywhere. You heard me right, stop playing slot machines anywhere, because they are completely predatory at this point. However, what I did not cover, or what people wanted me to cover, is the actual odds and numbers on table games. Table games being a potential alternative to playing slot machines. Well, let me tell you, it doesn't look much better for those of you who want to play table games. In fact, it is much, much worse. In this video, I'm going to go over the top 9 most popular table games, starting with the best all the way down to the worst. And trust me, you are going to be freaking shocked. Am I going to call for not playing table games? You'll just have to stick around to find out. And we'll get into it right after this. And we're back. I'm gonna go over the top most popular table games, at least here in Las Vegas, and I'm gonna give you the actual odds that are involved in said table games, starting from the absolute best, which is kind of sketch, all the way to the absolute worst. And at the end, I am gonna tell you an alternative to playing table games and definitely playing slots. To my surprise, and I don't get surprised easily, table games are actually way worse than slots. You ready to get into it? You're ready to hear these shocking, sobering numbers? I wasn't, and I know you're not prepared either, but we're gonna get into them, and I'm gonna try to save some money for you. Okay, now you're gonna say before we get started, so what's left, Bror Fredrik? What can I do in Vegas? Well, there's shows, there's eating, and my favorite hobby of all, which is people watching. People watching is for free, and it seems like the most entertainment, the most bang you can get for your buck in Las Vegas. At some point, Las Vegas has to realize that they are indeed boiling the frog. Unfortunately, there's more frogs being added to the pool who think something is gonna change, or maybe go in their direction, or they got a system, or I got a brother-in-law's cousin's best friend who won $1,000. Yeah, it's all gonna happen, but trust me, once you hear these numbers, you're gonna have an ugly feeling in the pit of your stomach about table games. Are you ready? I wasn't ready, but let's get ready and do this. Starting off with number 9, which is probably the most advantageous, if you can call it that, for the gambler, table game gambler here in Las Vegas, is as follows. You ready? Mini Baccarat. Yes, Mini Baccarat is the most advantageous game for the player. But that is not saying a lot. The expectation of Mini Baccarat, the casino hold, is 12.43. That's about twice as bad as your average slot machine. Twice as bad. And this is number 9. This is the best you could possibly hope for if you sit your butt down in front of a table game here in Las Vegas. The best player's edge, Mini Baccarat, the hold is quote unquote only 12.43%. Your money is gonna get smacked at a rate of 12.43%. Frickin' yikes. Okay, let's get into number 8, which is a lot of people's favorite, 21, aka Blackjack. Holy frickin' cow. Perfect play. People say, oh, well, with perfect play, you know, you're decreasing the house edge, blah, blah, blah. Bullshit. I call bullshit because here is the hard facts. The win rate that the casinos have on 21 or Blackjack, whatever you want to call it, is 14.82%, close to 15%. That is hovering at almost 3 times what the hold is on slot machines. And I would attribute that to a lot of the 3-2 that's being played. I would attribute that to the lack of double deck and hand dealt, and there's a lot of other factors that come into play. But the auto shufflers and the 3-2 and all the rest of that have definitely put a ding in gaming, in gamblers' wallets at a rate of close to 15%. I cannot tell you whether that's perfect play or whatever, or you think you have a system, you split eights and you do all this stuff. Whatever you do, the casinos are reporting a 14.82% hold. That is freaking big. I remember reading books back in the day where people said you could get it under 90% and 95%. And then once you factor in all the free rooms you get, no, you're going to be a big shot in Vegas. Yes, they will give you more comps, but hell, they better give you comps at that rate. So basically, if you put $1,000 on the table with, I guess you consider decent play, you can expect to lose about $150 out of that. Oh, but I got a free room that you could have paid for by the time all is said and done. So let's move on to number 7 on the list. Now, mind you, these are going from the best to the worst. Stick around to get shocked by the frickin' worst. Okay, I put this on the list because a lot of people consider it gaming or possibly a table game, but it's not really a table game, but it's worth mentioning, and that is Racebooks. And I would presume sports betting as a whole. Not much worse than Blackjack, but still worse than Blackjack. The casino hold is reported at 15.6%. And the casinos don't really see a lot of the racebook activity. You know, they hold maybe 30 to 50 million over the course of, you know, time, whatever time immemorial. It's not a big thing for them. However, their rate of hold is still 15.6. Again, frickin' yikes. All right, the next one. Remember, the top of the list was mini baccarat, which only smacked you over the head at 12.43. How about we talk about regular baccarat? Oh my goodness. The hold that the casino has, their quote-unquote win rate on standard baccarat in those beautiful rooms with the buffets and the cocktail waitresses, and you see all the people with the placards and betting millions of dollars. I witnessed it. I was in a baccarat table not too long ago, and I witnessed a dude lose over $3 million in the span of 45 minutes, plus or minus. Frickin' yikes. Anyway, you ready for this? The hold on standard baccarat, the win rate for the casino, is 16.42. That is over 3 times what a quote-unquote loose slot machine hold is. 16.42. Frickin' terrible. 16.42 on baccarat. All right. Let's get into the next one, because this is actually one of my favorite table games in all of Las Vegas. And it's about the gambling. Yes, it's about the excitement. Yes, it's about the potential to win. Yes, it's some people would say a skill game if you know how to set. Should I say set? Yeah, I'm gonna say set. You know what I'm talking about. You know where I'm going. The game of craps. Like I said, I enjoy craps. It's very social. It's very exciting. Nothing gets your adrenaline pumping and your dopamine cranking than a good game of craps. Back in the day, you could tell where the craps table was in any casino in Las Vegas. All you had to do was listen, because you'd hear screaming and yelling and clapping and all the rest of it, because it was just excitement. They since have sort of toned down such rowdy, I guess they would consider, behavior. Everyone's, oh yeah, high five, the whole bit. I don't know why, but it's a toned down environment. But still, if you want adrenaline, you want your dopamine hit, you play craps. I love playing craps. We all feel we can influence the outcome, which you technically can't. All right, you ready? 16.62 is the house advantage. I don't care how well you set the dice. I don't care what system you're using. Oh, I'm using max bet and I'm using max odds and all this other type of stuff. Okay, let me know how that works out. And I'm not trying to shame anyone who's playing. I think this video and the video I did before on the predatory nature of slot machines is actually helping people. I saw some people just have awakenings, epiphany moments that maybe they can just get their gambling under control. And I'm not just doing this for people who have a gaming addiction, but there's a lot of them out there, and there's a lot of people who think they don't, but they actually do. I hope these numbers are sobering. Craps, the most adrenaline, most dopamine table game. 16.62 is the hold that the casinos have. Yes, they've been playing around with the field a little bit and screwing up the odds a little bit, but 16.62 is the reported take. That is big. That is big. You have no chance of winning. Yes, maybe once in a while. I told the story about I rolled 12 boxcars for someone who had $5,000 there. He threw me a $25 chip at the end of it, and yeah, he was thrilled. Over 100,000, whatever. But your expectation is bad. 16.62% hold. Ugh. Moving on, we have Roulette. That's another exciting game. I've never really gotten into it. It's so weird that after a while of losing and losing and losing, you just try to cover everything, and I've seen it. Roulette probably has the most systems, I would say, or people trying to devise systems, and they all think, oh, I can win, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, well, being that the casino is not dumb and they want to keep their lights on, they have a win rate on Roulette of 19.6. 19.6, almost 20%. 20%. Now, how can that be possible? Well, you have the changing greens. They went from a European style at 1 green, 1 green 0. Then it became 2 green 0s. Now casinos are introducing 3 green 0s. 0, 0, 0, and 0, 0, 0. And that completely screwed up the odds and screwed up everyone's system. Now you have to hedge against the zeros if you want to play a system. And now they're holding 19.6%. They are freaking thrilled that people still sit their asses down. And there's no more cheap. I mean, there is some cheap tables here and there around town, but some of them are like $25 to $50 minimum that you can spread out, of course. But with a win rate of 19.6, you are screwed blued and tattooed, I don't care what system that you find online and think you're gonna win in Las Vegas because you have a little how would you say, what are those things, you know, the games you play on the computer to test systems and all that type of shit. 20%, almost 20%. Sad, isn't it? Kind of depressing. But let's move on and get a little more depressed. We got 3 more to go. All right, we have next on the list, Pygal Poker. Very popular. I personally have never played it. I understand the game. No, I think I played it once. Pygal Poker, okay, whatever. It's a simple game. It's a simple game to learn. It's a a derivative of something you'd probably play in a playground when you were 10 years old, whatever. Pygal Poker. Slightly worse than Roulette at a win rate for the casino of 20.98%. So effectively 21%. You're not going to beat any of these games. So I wouldn't say don't even try, but don't even think about it. And is it entertainment? Possibly. Oh, but I get comps. Well, if you put in 1,000 and you're losing 210 for every 1,000, yeah, you should get a free cocktail once in a while. Hopefully you still have money by the time the cocktail waitress comes around at 20.98%. Freaking Pygal Poker. All right, we have one more on the list before I get to the absolute worst. And I am going to give you some advice on what you could do if you still want to gamble in Las Vegas. All right, ready for the next worst, which would be Ultimate Texas Hold'em. Ultimate Texas Hold'em. Wow. They try to capitalize on the whole popularity of Texas Hold'em and all that. It's been around for a while, but the win rate for the casinos on this game, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, is 22.06%. Effectively 22%. 22%. That is a huge house edge. I mean, sitting down in front of any of these games, but Ultimate Texas Hold'em, yeah, you see in the newspaper, you know, Joe from Milwaukee, he won $510,000, but everyone else lost their kids' college fund and went home miserably frickin' depressed and had to get a second job with what's-her-face at McDonald's. 22.06% for Ultimate Texas Hold'em. All right, you ready? Are you ready? This is gonna shock you. This is gonna shock you. The next one I'm gonna tell you. I don't even know how it's legal in the grand scheme of things. But before I tell you that one, I'm gonna invite you to like, share, subscribe, hit the bell button, do all the stuff. If you want to support the channel, I got all the ways down there you can do it, and especially joining me on my streaming platform, which is brorfredrik.com. That's where I can be raw and uncensored and talk about all the things that we can't talk about here. All right, with that said, I'm not going to keep you in suspense any longer. I'm going to give you this, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on what you can do to possibly extend your gaming activities here in Las Vegas. Here we go. At the very bottom of the list, the absolute worst game with the highest edge for the casinos is 3-card poker. And I know people love that game. I personally have a friend who won over $250,000 on a prop bet that he put $5 on and Delta Royal, whatever the heck it was. He won $250,000 on it. And yeah, people will win. He gave it all back over the course of a weekend, of course. I've told that story many times. All that being said, you ready for this? The win rate on 3-card poker for the casinos is a staggering 32.18%. 32%. Oh my God, how is that even legal? How is that even possible? 32.18% on 3-card Poker. That is phenomenally effed up. Sitting down there is just pain. You have to be some kind of sadist or something to sit down at a 3-card poker table in Las Vegas. In fact, all these games, and I'll be honest, I was under the impression too that table games might be the answer to the predatory nature of the slot machines as of late, but these numbers do not lie. They are worse. In most cases, 2 to 5 times worse than your average slot machine. Let me just backtrack a second, because I dug up some other numbers. And believe it or not, the best denomination slot machine, which is a whopping $25 a spin, has a win rate, has an advantage for the casino of 5%, which means it's a 95% payback proposition, but only at the $25. Now, this is the best you can do at $25 a spin at 5%. So you take Blackjack. Blackjack is almost 3 times worse than playing a $25 denomination slot machine. So if you're at a $25 table, you're almost better off playing a frickin' slot machine, because it's a 5% hold versus a 14 point whatever percent hold. The next best is a $5 denomination machine, which has a little over 5%, believe it or not. Then you have this. Check this one out. You have $100 denomination slots, has a win rate for the casino of little over 6%. So that's a 94% payback at $100 a spin, which is still in the three times less than your average frickin' table game. On your dollar denomination slots, you have a win rate of about 6.4, 6.5 on the dollar. On the multi-denomination games, you have about the same 6.5. Quarter slots, if you're betting quarter slots, it's getting worse, folks. 8%. 8% is the average hold currently. I mean, it's going to change all the time. I'm just telling you this to be able to compare it to frickin' table games. I thought table games would be a little bit better, but shockingly, no. We're talking in some cases, this is 3x less than your average frickin' table game. And the worst of them all, which are penny slots, hold a whopping 9.67%. So they are, let's do the math, 90.33, so the 90% payback machines. Holy cow. Now let's go back to the best table game you could possibly play, which is Mini Baccarat, and that has a win rate for the casino of 12.43, which technically they hold 87.57% versus 90%. Worse, you go all the way to the bottom. Let's just go to craps at 16.62%. You're getting a worse deal. I'm not telling you to play slots. You know how I feel about that. And I hope I'm saving people some money, some time, some shame, some guilt, and all the rest of that. And I'm not telling you to abandon Las Vegas as a whole, but they have to realize that they are freaking boiling the frog to a mind-blowing degree. But what else is there to do in Vegas? There's tons to do in Vegas. Just stop. I know everyone, if you're just coming once a year and you got a couple grand you want to spend, but let me just tell you this. That couple of grand, you can put it into an investment. That couple of grand, even if you could afford to lose it, that's awesome. That's good for you. It supports the city. However, you're not going to get the same value. You're not going to get the same attention. It doesn't last as long, is my point. It does not last as long. A grand a day for gaming, especially table gaming, is nothing. You'll be done in an hour, and then, you know, you thumb up your butt the rest of the time and go do some people watching. Even if you're willing to lose the kind of money that would make a difference in your life and someone else's, you're just not getting the value. You're not getting the time, and you're not getting the treatment. But, oh, Bror Fredrik, I get some free rooms. Yeah, so you can do it all over again. At 20% casino advantage. You think it's a big deal that they're giving you a room? That doesn't make you a baller. That makes you a sucker. So the bottom line is table games are far more predatory than slot machines. And we all know how predatory they are. OMG. Okay, so what can we do about this, Bror Fredrik? Well, I'll go back to what I said in the slot machine video. Learn how to play video poker. Not the ones with the reels and the 3x this and the 5x that. Those are highly volatile. A standard, straight up video poker machine where you can press a button for the actual game plays and it will say 751, 861, 962, whatever, the 651, all those numbers mean something. Go watch a video. I don't have time to go over it now. But when you sit down in front of a video poker game, it will tell you what your expected win is. And still, video poker blows away table games, blows away slot machines. You might not get all the comps because they know you, with perfect play on some of these games like jacks or better or whatever, you can actually come fairly close to even. Like 95%, 96%, 97%, 98, 99%, maybe not 100, maybe 100 with points, stuff like that. But at least they let you play. The other ones with the spinny shit, the dopamine version, not so much, highly volatile. However, still the best game in Las Vegas and probably throughout the world is a video poker game where you can read the odds before you even start playing. They cannot change them midway. They could change them the day before. They could change them when you get up. But when you sit down, you press what are the pays on this machine, and you can read the pay table. Every pay table is different. Some suck, some are freaking awesome. And I did a video on, you know, who's got what quite a while ago, and I believe it's still relevant. But learn, go find a video and check it out for yourself. Are you a little depressed now? I don't blame you, because yes, those are some depressing ass numbers. All the way to 32.18% on 3-card poker. And the ones that really hurt me, they hurt me good. Blackjack, 14.82. Craps, 16.6 frickin' 2. All right, I'll let you go now. Go lick your wounds or go watch some videos about video poker. And one more time, I'm going to invite you to like, share, subscribe, and hit that bell button to get notified when I do this again, which is at least 5 times a week. And if you want to support the channel, you can click on any of those links down there. The holidays are coming up. Perfect place to do your holiday shopping. And don't forget my streaming platform over at heybrorfredrik.com, where we can talk about anything, everything, and all the stuffs we cannot discuss here. And I appreciate everyone's support over the years, over the months, over the days, because my channel is nearly completely fan-funded. So it's viewers that like you who make this all possible. And I'm grateful and I'm humble and I love you guys. And on that note, Bror Fredrik out.
Check the mic and make sure it sound right, boys.